Right, hello everyone. And hopefully we can get this time. I have started and recorded this a couple of times, trying to sort out the information in my brain. So, right, as we know for a while, I have been sort of obsessed with the age of Dance, Max, and everybody else around me. Okay, and the timeline that we have here for when everybody was supposed to have been, you know, coming along and all those types of things. So, as we've already heard me saying, I do believe Arthur should be a lot older. So, I decided to go and do some digging through the information that is available. And as we know, the Brotherhood of Steel under Owen Lance left the bunker in Lost Hills. On some sites we have that they left around 2254, and in others we have that they left around 2255, and others are saying 2252. So there's a bit of a, nobody's too sure when they actually left and started travelling out. Okay, so Sarah Land is supposed to be 3 years of age at this point, right? When we then land down on top of the Brotherhood, we have been released from the vault and everything else. Our father knew the Brotherhood of Steel, as we know. Star Paladin Cross helped to protect your father, but Star Paladin Cross also helped with your mother. So, and knew your mother. So it's sort of a little bit of a area. Okay? If we go with the fact that you were born, say, 2258, okay, that gives the Brotherhood, if they're right, 3 years, say 2255, until 2258, make it through and everything else. It still doesn't add up. It's going to take you a hell of a long time to walk. Not by vertibird. Not by car. Which I really still think, yeah, right, that wouldn't happen. There would be working cars in the wasteland. I'm sorry. There's too many mechanics in the United States of America. And too many people like NASCAR. There is no way they are losing the ability to fix cars. No way. Ain't happening. So, I do honestly believe there would actually be working cars. But anyway, so that gives them maybe, say, 3 years. Right? I'm going to go with the earlier one of possibly 2254 or earlier again. Okay? Now, Sarah Land is supposed to be 26 years of age when we meet her. I am not so sure about that. I think Sarah could be a little bit older. Okay? As I say, I'm not 100% sure. We don't have a definable, yes, this is when it happened. And we have one too many sort of uncertainties about stuff, as you're aware. So, going with this, the Brotherhood of Steel knew your parents before you were born. They were involved in Project Purity. So I'm going to say maybe they knew your parents for maybe about 20 years. Okay? Which means that by 2256, the Brotherhood of Steel had to have made their ass out of Lost Hills, all the way across the deserts, the Commonwealths or wherever they wandered through to get their butt into Washington DC, into the capital wasteland. During that time, they had to stop off at the pit, rescue a load of kids, and make their way across with them as well. Yeah, no, doesn't match. Sorry people, it's going to take a little bit longer. No matter how well trained your soldiers are, it's going to take a bit to make it all the way across and pull off all that stuff in the middle of it. That's not taken into account for anybody getting sick, anybody getting injured, and having to carry them along with you. Yeah, no, doesn't make sense. Sorry, logistically, it does not make sense. So, anyway, apparently Sarah is 3 years of age, and her mother died a few years before that. So, possibly Sarah's mum died just after birth or in childbirth. We don't know. Okay? We shall see. So Sarah is supposed to be in her 20s. I have actually seen a website claim that the Brotherhood of Steel actually left Bunker Hill in 2242. A hell of a lot longer before all the other information were being given out. So, anyway, as we know, the pit was the start of Lyons losing the support of the Brotherhood in the West. It was the tip of the iceberg, okay? Things then, you know, he made it into the Commonwealth, he's seen all this stuff going on, he gets involved with your parents, the whole heap, okay? He gets involved in Project Purity, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Okay. Let's maybe give him, with this information, two years to be in the capital wasteland before the Brotherhood loses all faith. They are not sending Arthur Maxson to someone they have no faith with. Okay? I'm sorry. Story blown apart there and then. Maxson would have to have been with the Brotherhood before that point. I mean, if you're like me, and when you play Fallout, you talk to everybody and anybody that can possibly be talked to, you will have come across Kodiak. Paladin Kodiak is in Fallout 3, in the Citadel, ring A or B, I can't remember which of them, but he's up in one of the rings anyway, okay? Kodiak is one of the children that the Brotherhood saved. Paladin Kodiak is in his late 20s, hitting his 30s, okay? When you go into the pit, the Burr brothers that you fight are Kodiak's brothers. No big information joint there for anybody that actually reads up or, you know, like me, it really is a full-on geek and an over-analytical person. But it does bring into account the age of this dude here. Paladin Danse tells you that when the Brotherhood came through, before that, the safest place anyone could be in Rivet City, in the wasteland, was Rivet City. He'd been about maybe 16, 17 at that point. He had a junk store. I'm going to say more than likely he was about 17, possibly 18. And he decided to join up with the Brotherhood. Okay. That dude's in his 40s. Okay? Or about to hit his 40s. If we go with this, the Brotherhood was there for at least 20 years. Then there's the 10 years in between that. The dude's actually a lot older than that. He is 47, possibly 48. He's hitting his 50s. Go work that one out. He looks good for that age. Right, I've got to admit, on him, 50 is definitely the new 30. Let's be honest. I'm not, I can hear some of you saying, it's the synth DNA. But you know what I mean. Arthur, I'm sorry. When you put the mathematics together of when he would have, disappointed the Brotherhood and everything else, Arthur Maxson is not a 20-year-old angsty kid. Arthur Maxson is in his 30s. It's that simple. He is in his 30s. He would have been a teenager when we'd have met him. As for Sarah Lance, possibly she could have been 26. Personally, I don't think she was. I really don't think that she was. I think she was a little bit older. I do leave more credence to the whole thing of the one that I seen where there is a possibility that they had to leave. They did actually leave back in 2240 something. And you know, so I hate to point it out, but Bathsheba, you dropped the ball. Majorly dropped the ball. The mathematics don't add. The mathematics do not add in any way, shape or form, and I really do sound like Austin from Shoddycast right now. I really do, and I am aware of this. As I say, leave a comment, say yes, say no, say hold on, what the hell, your brain works too much, you mad person, you know, get a life, whatever. You know, as I say, feel free to comment, let me know what you think. You know, anyone who is abusive, your comments will be blocked, you will be wiped out. You know, I actually think it is an interesting topic. As I say, many of the crew and cast, I do believe, are a little bit older than anyone's saying. As for me winding up the big guy behind me and saying to him, why do you keep saying for the Citadel and remember the Citadel? Basically, as we all know, Arthur actually killed a super mutant who was trying to reunify the mutants in the Capital Wasteland. Nobody has actually said what happened, but I'm guessing those mutants tried to take down the Citadel and Arthur took out the main one, and I believe Sarah was lost, and that is the battle that they are all talking about. I believe Sarah may have been lost trying to protect Arthur, or trying to protect someone. As we know, the Brotherhood at that point had actually got to the point where they were taking in waifs and strays left, right and centre and looking after every kid they could find. You know, so I do believe there is a high chance. Either that, or you never know, we may find out that a band of Enclave soldiers that hadn't been obliterated at Adams Air Force Base regrouped and tried to storm the Citadel, and she was killed. I'm more inclined to go with the super mutant one. I like that. I do like that one. But I mean, as I say, you know, it is sort of a bit of an open area for people to sort of go, right, okay, hold on, these mathematics are not making sense. Personally, I have never walked from California to Washington DC. The furthest I've walked is from my house to the city centre, which takes 45 minutes. You know, I don't know how long it would take, but I do know America is one big ass continent, and there is no way you're getting from California all the way to Washington DC while also stopping off in the pit, having a battle, saving a load of kids, and then taking into account for sprained ankles, dehydration, the armour they're carrying, the weapons they're carrying are going to slow them down as well. They are not going to be quick marching like normal soldiers would be, flying through something. These are not SAS blokes or Green Berets. These are boys in power armour, heavy damn armour. There's no way they're going to be doing that too fast. So the mathematics just aren't adding. And the fact that you've got a 3-year-old kid with you, and then all the other kids that you pick up along the way, that's going to slow you down even more. That's a lot of baggage. So to me, it ain't adding up. I think they left earlier than Bathsheba has said, and Bathsheba has just messed up the entire timeline. I am not so sure whether this is happening 10 years after. I know it's supposed to be 10 years after. You know, I don't know. The Brotherhood, you know, it says that, you know, it took 2 years of the greatest minds to come up with the Prydwen, and then it took triple that. So it took 8 years for the Prydwen to be built in the first place. You know what I mean? I don't know. there's a little bit too much, just doesn't add. And Madison Lee,